From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Billings still reeling from a week filled with deadly shootings in our city.
To be honest with you, I was shocked when I got up this morning and we didn't have a shooting last night.
While some are taking time to mourn the victims,
remember the loss of their loved ones, so that we can start to heal.
Others claim the violence shows city leaders have their priorities in the wrong places.
Building a $1 million+ rec center is not going to curb crime.
Good morning and welcome to Montana This Morning on this Monday, November 6th. I'm Augusta McDonald. There is hope. A new week will also mark a fresh start for the city of Billings. Police are promising to, quote, redouble their efforts to respond to gang-related crime after 4 people were killed due to violent crimes in the past week. Q2's Jackie Coffin has more on increased violence in the city and what's being done to stop it.
Started just 1 week ago with a shooting early Saturday morning that claimed the life of 18-year-old Rocky Mountain football player Chandler Stallcup and led to the arrest of 2 teenagers, all leading to a frightening revelation.
I acknowledge that gangs are becoming more prevalent now than they were in 2021. Gang members have been involved in recent incidents.
Wednesday morning, another shooting as 31-year-old Kenneth Kane Morrison was killed, protecting his 1-year-old son, who later died in a Billings hospital.
And they noted approximately 25 shell casings of 2 different calibers laying in the street.
And the latest, Friday night, a 17-year-old shot and killed running down an alleyway on the south side. 3 teens and 1 adult were arrested.
You know, it's frustrating that these kids are going around doing it. But like I said, it boils down to guidance and who's teaching them how to be this way. 3
shootings and 2 police standoffs. Responding to gang violence is pulling a lot of city resources.
We will redouble our efforts in combating gang and gun violence through enhanced enforcement and intensifying our collaboration with local, state, and federal partners.
During the streak of shootings, Police Chief Rich St. John, County Attorney Scott Twido, and Billings City leadership joined in a press conference to detail the problem.
And if you know something is amiss, alert the appropriate authorities. Don't look away.
Explaining that many of the suspects and victims are young, and these shootings are often retaliatory.
They go to guns almost instantly. The amount of guns that are involved in these incidents is shocking, even to me. I've done this for 25 years in this community.
Emphasizing that cracking down on a growing gang problem will take a community.
When is it going to stop?
We need help from everyone.
In Billings, Jackie Coffin, MTN News.
Thank you, Jackie. The number of teens involved in these shootings prompted this response from Billings Public School Superintendent Erwin Garcia. In a letter to parents, he writes, "The safety of students is the district's #1 concern." Garcia says other than one homeschool student who doesn't attend classes in person, none of the teens involved in last week's shootings attend Billings Public Schools. The district says they'll continue working with the police department to ensure that kids are safe while in school. Meanwhile, a new group formed in the wake of recent violence is looking to find a way forward for the city. Community Collective for Peace held this vigil last night near South Park. Dozens were there. They sang and they prayed and talked about frustrations with the state of the city. Organizers tell us they now plan to meet weekly to talk about how to best promote positive change for the future of Billings.
We have never seen violence like this in Billings, Montana. It's never been like this. It's just been escalating more and more in the last year.
It's complex to solve it, and it reflects a lot of the neglected areas that are in this town that we have forgotten, and the neglected people.
Community Collective for Peace says solutions won't be easy to come by, but some do believe the proposed multi-million-dollar parks improvement bond on tomorrow's local election ballot could help. However, as Q2's Charlie Kleps reports, not everybody is supportive of this solution.
That $143 million bond will work on 16 different projects in Billings, adding or fixing what the city already has. But with last week's violence, many are wondering if right now makes sense.
Places like parks bring people together.
Parks have become widely discussed in Billings in recent months.
Well, parks are important for kids, for community.
Whether you're for the parks bond like Cortland Dunn or against it like Pam Polkowski,
There's other things I want them to work on.
there's no ignoring the impact Tuesday's election will have on the community going forward. which if passed will upgrade 9 parks, add 6 trails, and build a rec center near Amond Park.
It's all about community. It's all about a healthy community, getting people outside, getting them in nature, and it's imperative that we invest in these things.
Building a $1 million+ rec center is not going to curb crime.
Many nay voters, like Pukowski, believe these benefits don't fit the safety needs of the city.
To be honest with you, I was shocked when I got up this morning and we didn't have a shooting last night. It's terrible. It is. It's absolutely terrible.
Her concerns come at a time when Billings recently lost 4 lives in shootings over the span of just 1 week.
The kids who are out there with guns and doing these shootings would not have been at a rec center. The list goes on. And for me, the top of that list is not a rec center.
If we're really going to solve this, we have to get on the prevention side.
But City Councilman Tom Rupsis says the bond will help increase community safety.
Well, the events of the past week are a real tragedy for everybody involved. We have to do those things that let our kids grow up in an environment where they understand that they have opportunities.
While Rupsis knows it won't immediately stop the problem, he believes passing it would be a step in the right direction.
Nobody expects our crime rate to go down 20% next year because we pass a park bond this year. What we're saying is that prevention is a generational challenge, right? And for generations, we've neglected this side of building our community, and we need to do better.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps for MTN News.
We'll, of course, continue to follow all of these stories, a really important topic to kind of unpack this weekend as we move forward. But in Miller, good morning. We're looking at slightly warmer temperatures, which will be kind of nice.
Not bad yesterday. Well, in fact, on that note, let's just take a step back in time, shall we? Yesterday, we were warmer than average with our highs and lows, a good 12 degrees above the norm. Still going to be there today. We may not get into the 60s here in Billings, but we may come close. But hang in there if you like cooler temperatures this middle of the week. In the middle of the week, looks like we got temperatures cooling down into the 40s and 50s for highs. Now, yesterday we had a top gust of 37. We may see some breezy conditions for our area today. Big Timber, Harlingen, Livingston, up and down I-90. We could see definitely gust over 30 miles today. But tomorrow, definitely going to see those stronger winds because we have this frontal system that's going to be passing through, and the winds will be whipping, so you could see gusts 35 to 45 miles an hour in those areas tomorrow here in Billings and other areas. Gust over 30 miles an hour will be possible. So it's been a dry month so far in terms of the rain and the snow, and we don't have a lot of action in that category either this week. Now, we may actually get a few flurries Wednesday morning here in the Magic City. If you're hopeful, keep your fingers crossed, but that's going to be about it. Pretty dry out there. Maybe a little bit of rain today. Mountain snow could be hefty. 38 right now at the airport, feels like 31, winds out of southwest at about 9 miles an hour. Waking up this morning mainly in the 30s. Pretty quiet out there, but as we get into the afternoon, starting to see some of that rain and definitely the mountain snow coming in. We'll take a look at that and more with the main forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Miller, thank you so much. And some national headlines now. Over the weekend, the Israeli army said its significant airstrikes and land assaults in Gaza had essentially split the Palestinian territory in two. Secretary of State Antony Blinken made unannounced stops to Baghdad as well as the West Bank city of Ramallah, where he held what's described as a tense meeting with Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas. In the meantime, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is threatening there will be no ceasefire with Hamas until all hostages are released. And this morning we head to the Red Rooster Bar in Shepherd for one of the most specials you can possibly order. So we've got our Haley Monaco in with us this morning to talk about that. Good morning, Haley. Tell us about the fundraiser. It looks like it's helping a lot of kids in Billings.
That's right, Augusta. A portion of the proceeds from weekly specials at Red Rooster will stay in Shepherd and go to the schools to help feed students in need. It's a cause that I learned is deeply personal for the bar's owner. A staple in the Shepherd community for 5 years.
I really like the pizza and tacos.
We've just been kind of building our kitchen because we didn't have very many food resources out here when we first bought the bar.
It's not often you hear about a bar helping out children, but at the Red Rooster Bar, that's exactly what they're doing by covering negative lunch balances at Shepherd schools.
Times are a little tough right now, but no kid should ever go hungry.
Owner of the bar, Angel Viren, says they will offer a weekly Mustang special, a new item not usually offered on the menu, this week a club sandwich, and a portion of the proceeds from that will be taken to the schools.
I have a son that goes to the school, so I'm always trying to figure out ways that we can help the school and give back to the school. But the other thing too is I was a hungry child.
Vyron knows exactly what it is like to go without food as a child and doesn't want any other student to experience it.
I know what it's like to sit in class and just think about being hungry and not knowing if you're going to be able to eat that day.
6th grader Caleb Janich has also experienced not having money in his lunch account and was happy to hear someone is helping students and families in need.
It'll just help with like the rest of their day, going through the school day, because for me it was pretty rough not eating.
It does mean a lot, because if a kid can focus on what they're learning versus their stomach growling, then it makes all the difference in the world.
Augusta, the bar raised $70 over the weekend.
Haley, that's awesome. And now that the word's out, even though more money might start coming in, are there plans to make the Mustang Special even bigger?
Yeah, so Angel Vyron actually hopes once she clears out those negative balances to add a scholarship fund and start making some positive balances for those students.
That's so awesome. Get ahead of the problem. And of course, like they were saying in the story, nobody learns on an empty stomach. Thank you so much, Haley.